The topic of money has become my obsession in recent years, and that is because we are not taught how to use money effectively. We are not taught how it can be a tool. It can either destroy your life or it can make it better. All of us that are born into the poor to middle class range, just like me, we just don't know how to use money. We always see usually our parents as an example, and they're not always the best example. For me, my parents were always struggling, always talking about debt, always talking about what they didn't have and how they couldn't pay their bills. I remember my mom taking money out of my piggy bank when I was 6 because she had to pay the electric bill. This is just crazy to me because my mom also was constantly coming home from stores with stuff that she didn't need. And her excuse was always, well, it was on sale. It was on sale. It was such a good deal. Like I had to get it. That's the problem. Do not buy anything that you do not need unless you have a surplus of money and you're fine. But if you are struggling, or even if you're not struggling, but you want more for your life, then you have to stop buying unnecessary things. We live in a society of superficial things where we're keeping up with the Joneses, especially with social media. Oh my God, it drives me nuts. Like every time you open social media, there's going to be someone with better things or more money, or they appear to have more money than you. It doesn't mean they do. It could all be fake, which most of the time social media is fake. So, don't fall for that. Now, I have a friend who actually has a lot of money, and she's gotten to the point where she's like, I'm not buying anything. Like, she'll put it out there on social media, I need nail polish or I need whatever. And people are like, I thought you had money. And she's like, that's not the point. The point is, all this stuff goes to waste. And there's so much waste in America, and there's so many things that people just buy that they don't use, that she can literally get almost everything she needs for free. Stop thinking you need a brand new car, a brand new dress to go out in, that you need to go out to eat several times a week. Stop the door dashing if you do not have the money for it. That was one of my addictions because I worked hard and then I would not want to go out and get food. I would not want to cook. But if you want to get ahead in life, you have to stop spending your little bit of extra money on these silly things that you do not need. It's hard at first. It's hard to break these habits for sure. It took me a long time. I made okay money, but I was always struggling because I would buy new kitchen chairs. I would buy new clothes. That was a big one. I would get tattoos or just whatever I thought I needed. And I would just justify it with, well, this is going to make me feel better. This will make me more confident. This will make me happier in my house. So I would go and buy a bunch of plants like, oh, well, this is going to make me feel better going through the winter. It's more life in here. It's more oxygen. Whatever excuse it is, I would make all of them and I would justify my spending. But this is an issue because when we do this, we set ourselves up for this rat race, for this failure, for this slavery mentality. Because when you're just making an hourly wage and you can barely keep your head above water, sometimes you spend what little bit of extra money you have on these little things. But if you would instead start living extremely minimalistic, and I don't even like that word because I feel like it's a fad now to be a minimalist, but if you start just reducing what you need, if you start actually recognizing the difference between what you need, what you want, and what you love, those are like three categories I've heard people speak of quite a bit. Just stick in the needs category, like groceries, you need that, or you gain or lose weight and you have to get a new pair of pants. Sure, I get that. We have to buy things here and there, but I would say 95, if not more, percent of Americans spend their money on things they don't need all the time. And then they complain how they don't have money. So, we need to fix this. Like if you can take that $10 or $20 that you were going to buy food, expensive, nice food with, or a new outfit with, and instead you put that into a savings, this is how you end up becoming happy. You have to save that money and you have to watch it grow. And then you maybe even need to do some side hustles if you have big dreams. Like I started a food truck. If that was maybe one of your goals, to start some kind of side business where it takes about $10,000 to $20,000 just to get started, then focus on that. Keep your eyes on the prize. I say this to myself all the time because I still struggle with spending. I see something, or if I'm feeling a little depressed, a little anxious, buying something nice for myself makes me feel better. in the short term, but then later I'm upset with myself when I look at my bank account. So keep your eyes on the prize every day and say, this is what matters to me. Saving up this money so then I can buy that food truck, or so that I can go into this business or do that or go on that trip, this trip that I've dreamed about. It's so important to save your money and maybe get a side hustle and start putting that money directly into savings. This is how you get out of the broken system, and this is how you move on, and this is how you grow your money eventually. You have to be disciplined and you have to keep your eyes on the prize.